introduce Miss Ann Hall. She's our next storyteller. She has been sharing stories with her students as a librarian at Shearer Elementary School. She was a librarian for 21 years.
Library.
Oh, you're at the public library?
I was at the public library before that.
Here?
Yes, sir.
Well, awesome. Thank you. So she's going to grace us with her storytelling powers, and let's welcome Miss Ann Hall.
Yep. Thank you, sir. As long as it didn't probably, I need to shorten it. There you go. Thank you. It's great. I don't need it. Thank you. Some of you parents, adults, used to know me at the public library for quite a few years as well, where I was youth services librarian. But I love doing storytelling. This story is a Hungarian folk tale. I love doing folk tales with children because a lot of times there's humor in them. A lot of times there's a storyline in there that has kind of a moral. This one is Don't Be So Greedy. The Diamond Button and the Little Red Rooster. Now, once upon a time, there was a little rooster. He lived in a house where a poor old woman lived. She didn't have much to eat for herself, and even less for that little red rooster to eat. So he would go out in the road and scratch in the dirt out there to get the bugs that he wanted to eat. He was out there one day scratching in there, getting him some good juicy bugs, when he looked down and he saw something shining. He looked at it with one eye, and then he looked at it with the other eye. It was a diamond button. And he said to himself, "Oh, I think I'll take this home to my mistress. She's sure to love this shiny button." But just then, the Sultan was coming down the road. He had his 3 servants holding an umbrella over his head. He was walking slowly because he was weighted down with all the jewels on his fingers and arms and around his neck. But he saw that diamond button and he wanted it for himself. And he told his servants, "Grab that diamond button. I want it for myself." And before the little rooster could pick it up, those 3 servants ran and grabbed that diamond button and turned and followed the Sultan back to his palace. That little rooster thought about that diamond button that he wanted for his mistress. And he got angry and he said, "Sultan! Sultan! Give me back my diamond button!" But the Sultan went on down the road, where that little rooster flew as hard as he could. He walked as fast as he could, and he followed that Sultan down the road back to his palace. And when he got there to the palace, he flapped his little wings as hard as he could, and he flew up to the window, and he looked inside. There was the Sultan sitting on this great big chair. He was drinking tea out of a golden cup and eating sweet candies out of a silver dish. And that little rooster looked in that window and he said, "Sultan, Sultan, give me back my diamond button." But the Sultan ignored him. That just made the little rooster angrier. And he said a little bit louder, "Sultan, Sultan," you can go with me if you'd like on this story, "give me back my diamond button." And the Sultan looked up there and he said, oh, look at that annoying little rooster. And the little rooster said again louder, Sultan, Sultan, give me back my diamond button. And the Sultan turned to his servants and he said, take that little rooster and throw him down into the deep, deep well. And they ran out and they caught that little rooster and they threw him down to the bottom of the deep well. But the little rooster had nothing to eat that day. So the little rooster went, come, my empty stomach, come, my empty stomach, drink up all the water in the well. And he drank up all the water in the well. And he flew as hard as he could to the top of the well. And then he flew again to the top of that window again. And he stood up there and he said, Sultan, Sultan, give me back my diamond button. And the Sultan looked up at him and he said, oh, it's you again. Go get him and this time throw him into the fire. Let it burn him up. And those servants came and got that little rooster and they threw him into the burning fire. And that little rooster said, come, my full stomach, come, my full stomach, let out all the water. And he put out the fire. And then he flew back to the top of that window and he said again, Sultan, Sultan, give me back my diamond button. He said, you are a most annoying fellow. Oh, what shall we do with him? And one of the guys says, let's throw him in with the bees. Let them sting him. So he said, catch him and throw him in the beehive. So they caught that little rooster and they threw him into the beehive. And he said, come, my empty stomach, come, my empty stomach, eat up all the bees and he had the buzzing in his stomach, but he flew to the top of the window again, and he said again, Sultan, Sultan, give me back my diamond button. And the Sultan looked up there and he said, you are one persistent little fellow. What shall we do with him? I'm tired of hearing him. And one of his servants said, let's throw him in a dungeon. And the other one said, let's sell him at the market. And the other one said, you should sit on him. And he said, that's what I'll do. I'll sit on him. And they grabbed up that little rooster and he said, put him on my chair. I shall sit on him. And they put that little rooster there. And just as the Sultan was sitting, the little rooster said, come, my full stomach, come, my full stomach, let out all the bees. And oh, did they sting him? Take that little rooster out of here and give him whatever he wants. And they took that little rooster into a room in his palace. And when they opened the doors, it was filled with diamond buttons. and they threw that little rooster in there, and they said, "Take whatever you want. We don't want to ever hear or see of you again." And that little rooster looked at the diamond buttons and he said, "Take what I want? I think I will." Come, my empty stomach. Come, my empty stomach. Eat up all the diamond buttons. And the little rooster was so full of diamond buttons, he couldn't fly back home. He walked back home, and you can imagine the surprise on the little woman's face when he said, "Come, my full stomach, let out all the diamond buttons." And they lived happily ever after.
Just see the children now in your library class listening to you. I love how you changed your voice, and you're a great storyteller.